buy two.
How do you like the landscape? Does the river run through it?
It's pretty, isn't it?
Does the river run through it?
Looks like it.
Is this warehouse A? Is this bonded? It's like a campus, right?
Alright, so with the new recipe in hand, Bill and Marjorie set out to find a distillery for them to start the Maker's Mark empire. Does anybody know what brought them to this particular property or this particular area? Water. Alright, right over that hill behind our parking lot, you will find our 10-acre spring-fed limestone lake. All of our water that we use in our recipe comes from that lake. So here we are fortunate enough to be located on a limestone shelf. Now what that limestone does for us is it filters out the iron and it brings in the calcium. Because when you're making bourbon or whiskey, you don't want high iron levels in your water because that can tend to turn your whiskey black. It can also tend to give it more of a bitter flavor. That's why right down the road, Bardstown, Kentucky is the bourbon capital of the world. That's why most of your bourbon and whiskey is created in the Kentucky, Tennessee area because of that limestone shelf. Now this particular property has not always been Maker's Mark. Before it was purchased by Bill and Marjorie, it was actually Burke's Distillery and Grits Mill, which opened in 1805, which makes this particular property the longest running and continually operating distillery in the United States of America. So it's the oldest one in the country that's still operating on its original site. That building over there, the yellow building that we passed on the way over here, that's what we call our courthouse. Court with the Q. That's one of the oldest liquor stores. What would happen there is you could compare it to your nowadays McDonald's. Instead of driving up to the drive-thru to get your Big Mac, you could drive up there with your jug of whiskey, get it filled up, and hit the road. Fortunately, we can't do that today. McDonald's does not sell whiskey or bourbon, unfortunately, right? All right, so now we're actually going to